okay. That's the way I felt the first time I was on the show.
Yeah.
Okay. But now I'm kind of a regular on the show, and I really enjoy it a lot.
You guys are a bunch of Nancy fucking Pantsy boys. Let me tell you something. I listen to Going Dutch Radio because I like their kind of talk. They talk straight and they talk forward, and that's why I listen to fucking Going Dutch goddamn radio.
Alright guys, so look up Going Dutch Radio Network, like us on Facebook, and subscribe.
YouTube and Twitch.com.
Whatever they just said.
Alright guys, this is Going Dutch Radio Network. That's right guys, Going Dutch Radio Network. I am CJ, your host, and the crew with me today, to the right of me, if you're looking at the camera, it is Blue. How's it going, Blue?
Not bad. Feeling good.
All right.
Feeling pumped up for this.
Wow, good. All right, and to
Fucking pumped. No, seriously, I'm really pumped.
like, how pumped are you?
Like, I am just keep going. Just talk to the other guy. I can't even explain how pumped up I am.
Well, I have a name, Blue.
All right, on that note, the man to the left of me, his name is Candy. How's it going, Candy?
It's going pretty good.
So pumped.
I'm just as pumped as he is. Well, maybe not as pumped.
I am so fucking pumped.
But a little pumped.
God, I feel like there's a lot of pumping going on.
I actually have a few questions. I was actually wondering how the show came about, Dutch Radio. You never actually shared it with our viewers. Maybe you have, but I haven't heard anything about it.
Yes. So me, CJ, that's right. I am CJ, the host. I decided during conception that I wanted to start doing a online podcast where we could do it live at least, once a week and be able to kind of have archive podcasts to watch. All right, guys, this is Going Dutch Radio Network. Sorry, I'm kind of out of breath.
Going Dutch Radio Network.
All right, guys, I am CJ, your host. This is kind of a random, impromptu, random podcast. Normally, we go live every single Saturday night at 8 p.m. Central, but tonight it is 9:49.
On a Tuesday. Right? It's Tuesday.
It is Tuesday.
All right, on a Tuesday.
I like it. I like it a lot. So, Sam, what are you doing here?
Dude, like, Cody said, come on over for some food. And I said, sure. And then he said that his grill blew up. Pfft, pussy.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. No, so I'm here. I'm like, well, what's better than barbecue? Talking on Going Dutch Radio podcast.
You see that, people? You see how many people are dedicated? Do you get it? Do you get it yet?
At least one in pink sunglasses. By the way, I support the fight against breast cancer. I don't think that's what these sunglasses were originally for. But
do you think anybody wouldn't be for the fight against breast cancer?
I don't.
You know
yeah, that's always a weird thing. Like when they say I'm for the fight against. Well, yeah, shouldn't you? Shouldn't you be? Like, shouldn't everybody be? That's a fucked up thing. Like,
I mean, we're about to talk about humanity, people.
Oh, dude, that's what is wrong with humanity?
So, Sam, why did you want to do a podcast tonight? Tell everybody.
So we were out on CJ's deck, and I was like, dude, I was talking to my buddy last night. I'm like, dude, fuck humanity right now. Like, not fuck humanity in general, just fuck humanity right now. Now, I wanna state for the record, I am no expert. Okay, I'm not like this fucking guru. I got a lot of problems of my own. I'm wearing pink sunglasses and a black shirt, okay, and I'm in a weird guy's basement on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
I got a lot of weird problems of my own. But here's the thing, like, when did it get all wrong? Like, what? Oh, my God. It's like, and I'm going back to, like, 2003. I'm remembering my childhood. And today, the world is completely different. In 15 years, it's crazy how much the world has changed.
So, I mean, what are you trying to say, Sam? Are we talking like, what do you mean the world's different? Like, people are too sensitive? Technology? What are you trying to get at?
I feel like I could sum it all up because there's so many. You heard me outside. I was jumping back from point to point. There's so many things wrong. But I can sum it up. We are becoming less and less human.
Okay.
We're becoming less and less human. And the one thing that I'm going to say, and I'm guilty of it, and everybody watching is, because I know I tagged everybody on my phone to watch.
You said, everybody look at me.
Right.
I'm important.
I'm online. I want attention.
I got pink sunglasses on.
Oh, dude. Like, but seriously, that is what's wrong with society. We live in a box. We go to work in a box.
Yeah.
We work in a box, on a box, at work, computer, all right?
Could you imagine? I mean, would it be like Inception if you worked at Jack in the Box? I mean, at what point?
Jack in the Box, Xbox. We go home. We talk on a phone in a box. We have our whole social life.
How about a fart box?
Fart box. I mean, like everything is in a box. And the problem is when you put human beings in a box. Just think of our ancestors, our ancient ancestors. They were not in a box like this.
Okay.
And we are totally, and that is what's wrong with the world. And I'm not talking anything liberal. I'm not talking anything conservative. Fuck both of those sides. What I'm saying is the fucking human experience. And I know I'm cussing and a bunch of stuff right now, but like,
hey man,
dude,
you want to get your point out and you're angry. You want to tell people about it. I don't blame you at all.
I'm angry. I'm sad. I'm frustrated. I'm scared.
Are you horny?
Yeah, I mean, always horny. But it's just what is going on with the world, man.
So what made this come about? What made you feel this? I mean, what was it? Just like a couple days ago? Was it last week? Was it last month? Last year? Why do you feel like? Why do you feel like today's day and age? I guess I feel like they're just being a whole bunch of pussies, or people are being too sensitive or being too quick to judge. People, and I do totally agree with you with people these days. I mean, let's be honest, people. Really. And by the way, if you want to comment and call in, 636-926-6945.
6945.
If we do not answer right away and we miss your call, I promise we'll call you right back.
Yeah,
and I'm not lying.
We will.
That's the only way it's free for us. So
yeah. So no, I can't put a face. I look back at like the early 2000s, and I think that's when it all started to change.
Yeah. After 9/11, man.
After 9/11, I will say that. I mean, it's just like it's a different world. So one thing that pisses me off, and I'm going to try to hit like talking points, but I really don't have them planned out because this is so impromptu. But
it's a good thing.
Yeah. So one thing is, do you know all your neighbors?
I don't know any of our neighbors except for the lady that I pulled a gun on right across the street, and that's actually a pretty interesting story.
Okay,
but as far as neighbors go, the people right across the street, they don't like me, so I don't know anybody's names.
Okay.
Nobody, and I've been here for almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years.
In Webster Groves, where everybody's supposed to be supposedly friendly / fucking fake. But yeah.
So 2 years, almost in the same place. How many neighbors would you say are just around you in your vicinity? Probably in a square block.
I mean, couple hundred.
Okay.
I mean, at least.
And he knows nobody. Now, part of that is on him, part of that's on the neighbor, but when it comes down to it, it's on humanity, guys. We don't know our neighbors. I could probably name you some of my neighbors by first name. okay, or the last name because I still, live at home, so I'm calling them Mr., Mrs. Again, that's why don't take what I'm saying like I'm some fucking expert. I'm still living at home trying to climb that corporate ladder, but fucking you don't know your neighbors nowadays. So why are people?
And this thing, if you move somewhere else right now, I guarantee you might know one fucking neighbor.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: you are a very likable person. You like to get along with people. You have nice sunglasses, so I mean, you might get along with more people than the average. But I do totally agree with you. You kind of it's kind of like a libertarian lifestyle where, fuck everybody else.
Yeah.
Just leave me the fuck alone.
Right.
I'll do what I do. And once again, fuck off.
Yeah.
That's the way life is. And it wasn't like that prior to 2001 and 9/11, man. And I feel like that was the tipping point of a whole different lifestyle.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to find out like where it all went wrong or where we think it went wrong. And like I said, we could totally be wrong when it comes to the end of this.
Sure.
But like so you don't know your neighbor.
No.
They don't know you. So these are people that you're living next to. These are people that are part of your community. And it's so, I think many Americans nowadays, they don't know their neighbors and they have their doors locked. And what happened? Sebastian Maniscalco, he's a Italian comedian. You gotta watch him. He is hilarious.
Is he fat?
No, he's actually a good looking guy. Ooh. But he did this bit where back in the 20 years ago when your doorbell rang, you got excited. Who's at the door? You would all run to the door. You'd all be able to greet who's at the door. You got so excited. Somebody's coming to visit. And then, I'm not going to do the bit as good as he is. And then, nowadays, when somebody comes to the door, you're like, who's there? Who's there?
Well,
who's
there? Yeah, I mean, yeah. Everybody's like that nowadays. You keep your fucking doors locked. If someone knocks on the door, I don't care if it is 8 in the morning.
Right.
It could be noon. It could be 8 o'clock at night. It doesn't matter. This is a perfect story that I was trying to kind of explain earlier. And this is pretty funny, guys. So, and this is not a joke. This is a true story. I moved into this house in Webster Groves about 2 years ago or so. And I moved in. It was about a weekend or so. And this lady across the street, I would see her every once in a blue moon. She's hardly ever fucking outside. Ever. I mean, ever. I'm not just trying to explain this and state this because we're kind of talking about how no one's ever outside, blah, 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 and it's a new day and age. I mean, really, I never fucking saw her. She's like a ghost, you know what I mean? You didn't know she actually fucking exists or not, or maybe she's like a traveling like fucking star, you know?
Right.
Anyway, so
she could be a witch.
Like, actually, that's kind of funny you mentioned that. So, anyway, I heard this random knock on the door. It was about, I think realistically, it's about 9:30 at night. This, it's fall time, so it's been dark for a little while. When someone, to me, it was like a fucking, not a knock, like a fucking bang like on the door,
boom,
right?
Boom, 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 boom.
And this is like a weekend. I'm like, oh my God. I thought this was supposed to be like a nice neighborhood. Like, what the fuck, right?
Yeah, it was a violent knock.
And not only that, I just got my first gun.
Okay.
So I just got my first gun. I just got ammo. I've already shot a few times. I'm fucking gun happy.
Right.
So so what
Which
do I do?
Which is scary, but I mean, still,
it's fun. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So then I put the gun like behind my fucking back, and I'm starting to like walk up towards the door, and I try to look through that little peephole. You know what I'm talking about?
Like some Charlie's Angel shit.
And Jessica's like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? The dogs are going crazy. And then I look outside of our big window because right next to the door is our like giant window that looks outside.
Yeah.
And I didn't see anybody whenever I looked over.
Is she a smaller lady?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Very skinny, like a witch or a ghost.
Okay.
So then I open the door. I open up the storm door and I walk outside. And the gun's still behind my back. And all of a sudden she kind of pops out of my bush saying, "Howdy, neighbor. Hi, my name's blah, blah, blah. Welcome to Lower Lark Hill Court. Blah, 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 blah. And she's got like a gift basket and a gift card, $25 gift card to some fancy restaurant in downtown Kirkwood. And I am sweating bullets because I have a gun behind my fucking back outside, like 10 feet outside my house.
You legit thought it was a threat. And all of a sudden you find out that it's this nice old lady coming to pay,
So here's the
pay respect to you because you moved in.
Exactly. So now the fucking dogs, people, are jumping at the storm door, and I'm afraid one was going to get the fuck out. So what do?
200-pound boxer, by the way.
Yeah, he's
on an old lady. Like, yeah, it's legit. Yeah,
it would be one crazy sex scene, or it'd be a lot of bloodshed. Either way, there's gonna be a lot of blood. So
you were holding the dog back because you obviously don't want your dog to jump on.
All of a sudden, I kind of go towards the storm door. I kind of went sideways, and remember, guys, the gun is behind my back. And what do you know? She kind of sees it. And I'm not 100% sure if she saw it, but I knew she fucking saw it because I turned back. And she looked at me like this.
you weren't hiding it anymore at that point.
Oh no,
You weren't.
No, I totally
You
was.
were trying to, but the way that you turned, it had to be visible.
And literally, she went like this. Okay. Well, nice to meet you. My name's like Francis. I don't want to. Okay, have a good
She
one.
probably gave you a fake name.
I've never seen like a 65-year-old lady walk so fucking fast across the street in my life. Like she literally ran into her house. Till that day, to this day rather, it's been 2 years, people. Ever since this lady came to my house and tried to give me an offering saying welcome to the neighborhood, since I pulled a gun on her, I've never seen her ever since. Literally, I have not seen her face, her body, anything outside or anything ever since. She's that afraid.
Have you ever thought about like actually going over there and just like explaining yourself to her? Like actually, hey, you know what? Thank you for everything.
Do you think she's actually gonna fucking open the door or answer the door?
Yeah. Well, that's the problem. That's the problem. But like, we wouldn't have this problem if we weren't at this point in fucking society. Because look at what you automatically thought when somebody was banging on the door.
Yeah.
You thought it was a threat.
Fuck yeah.
First of all, criminals I don't think are gonna come knocking. They're just gonna fucking come in, you know.
I don't know. You always thought, burglars would only come in at night, and now they're starting to come in during the day.
I'm also not a crime expert. I'm not a crime expert, so I don't.
Are you sure about that?
I don't know.
Why do you always wear the sunglasses? What are you trying to hide?
I wear my sunglasses at night. Anyway, no. So fucking but. And then she, coming over at like 8:30, 9:30 at night, and she was probably being friendly. It's such a fucked up thing that we are not close to our neighbors anymore. So it's not, the issue is not that we're close to our neighbors. Why are we not close to our neighbors anymore?
And I totally agree with you. So right now, Sam Catanzaro and me, CJ, are talking about how humans aren't humans anymore. Humanity is going to shit, and why are we being the way that we are nowadays versus back in the day, 15, 20, 30 years ago. And, but like I was saying, so
what scares me is that nobody's talking about this.
My problem is I'm legitimately, I don't think, a very good person. So the fact that I actually do truly feel bad that I pulled a gun on a neighbor that was just trying to welcome me to the neighborhood, like it legitimately made me feel terrible. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to say this instance happens all the time, but I mean, most people wouldn't even answer the fucking door. Or you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's a good thing that I answered the door with a gun, but you know how it is. Today is a different day and age.
It's a different day and age.
Yeah, I mean, you know how it was 15, 20 years ago, back when we were, kids. I lived in Crestwood. I think you lived in Crestwood.
Yeah. Separate buses. We were on different sides of Crestwood, but we both lived. Which, by the way, in 2010, Crestwood was voted, I think it was 2010, and it was voted like one of the #1 places in the nation to raise a family.
No shit.
Or it was something. I might be getting that wrong, but it was something that it was a very safe place.
Yeah.
And we grew up there, early 2000s?
Yeah.
I mean, we graduated high school 2010. So, we had I had a good childhood in Crestwood.
Yeah, I definitely did.
I can't complain about it. It's not like I came from a bad area.
And just like you were saying before, we were talking about this upstairs about the studio. We were talking about how back in the day, my dad didn't give a shit, but my mom, she was really protective, overbearing, like really overbearing.
Yeah.
But with that being said, all I had to tell her, she's like, where are you going? Where are you going? And I'm like, I'm going out with Mike Tarantola. Plug.
Taco, Peaches,
Yeah.
If you're listening,
Back in the day,
I'm going to try to tag
people.
him right
I'm
now.
talking about. This is like 8, 9, 10 years old. This was my best friend growing up all throughout my childhood.
He's such a good guy too.
He is, man.
Mike Tarantola, if you're listening, you got to be on the show.
And I've tried to get him over to my house like 2 or 3 fucking different times. Mike, if you are listening, please.
He will make friends with anybody. I mean, anybody in America listening right now needs to have a drink and a shot with Mike Tarantola. He's buying.
He is buying. But with that being said, my mom would be like, "Where are you going?" And I'm like, "I'm going out. I'm going on my bike to go hang out with Mike." Okay, well, you better be back before X time. Okay,
right.
We would
usually before 5, before like dinner.
We would go up to the Crestwood Mall. We would fucking run rabbit. Like fucking Mike would be stealing a ton of shit from the from the stores. I mean, constantly. Always. What's that one fucking place everybody loves? Is it the adolescent teenage kid? It's still open today. What the fuck is that stupid store called? Like they had tons of stupid
Hot Topic or
no,
Spencer's.
Spencer's. Mike would always be stealing shit from Spencer's, doing stupid shit, and I was kind of like the fat kid back then. Not fat anymore, but
which we at Going Dutch Radio do not.
Yeah, we do not condone stealing.
I couldn't think of condone.
But you know what? It didn't really matter if Mike really stole or not. Where Crestwood Mall is now. it's a giant.
It was going to
a
shit.
giant mountain. But with that being said, anyways,
you could go outside. I could do the same thing. I could tell my mom. I would tell my mom,
hours,
hey, I was going to ride my bike up to Wycliffe, or hey, I was going to go skateboard up to Wycliffe, or hey, I'll go skateboard up to Wycliffe. I know the paths, how to cut through Best the apartments to Best Buy, and then across the street to Dillard's or fucking the mall.
Your fucking parents wanted you to get out of the fucking house.
They wanted you to get out of the house. Exactly. You were driving them nuts. Get the fuck. And we wanted to get out of the house.
Fuck yeah,
we wanted to get out of the house. I didn't want to stay. And this was back when AIM, AOL Instant Messenger was a thing.
Yeah.
I didn't care. Like, I would do that at night. Get the fuck out of the house during the day. Like, during the summer, I would get on AIM in the morning to see what everybody was doing, and then I would just go.
And not only that, I mean, back then, you would, most of the time, teenage boys, I feel like, or younger kids, whatever, would, if you're on AIM back in the, what's this, the early 2000s?
Early 2000s, yeah.
Early 2000s. It was mainly just to chat with, like, random people that you thought, like, oh, wow, this girl has nice big tits because she's stating and chatting that she has nice big tits. You know what I'm saying?
You didn't see a picture. You didn't see anything.
Half the time, it wasn't anyone you knew.
Yeah.
But then
it was also like you get into a chat room with all your friends and you're all up late. Hey, did anybody do the homework? Did anybody do Ryan Smith's homework or something like that? Or fucking, and nobody fucking did it. And everybody was like, I'll see you tomorrow. And you put an away message on, like sleeping, taking a crap on the crapper, something, man.
Right.
But here's the thing, like, I think our generation was the last generation as kids that could actually just fucking go out and their parents would just be like, okay, be home by a certain time.
It is the one reason why, yes, I do enjoy technology. I don't let it run my life. I don't really care being on Facebook 24/7 unless for the show, because you gotta publish shit, you gotta try to do shit. But I mean, for the most part, I feel like we are not the millennial breed. That's one thing I want to bring up. We are not. If you're
technically the millennial breed, what everybody thinks is millennials, is 1982 to 2010.
Yes.
And
it's ridiculous.
So everybody, and I forget exactly what this new breed is called that comes after. It's the millennial, the new generation.
There's no name yet. There's really is not a name.
And I think everybody's grouping it in. But technically, the reason why millennials, and listen, America, the millennials, the name millennial, the reason why they called it was because if you were born in 1982, you would be graduating high school in the new millennium. And that is why they call millennials. And it was just like, again, how lazy the fuck are we? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, to say, like, to not come up with a name after a certain generation. It's fucking stupid.
I feel like if you're about, I'm not just saying this because we're kind of close to this age, but I feel like if you're about 20, probably 25 years old, not really 24. I feel like I know a couple 24-year-olds where I'm like, oh, fuck, they're fucking pieces of shit, asshole, techie, cucks. I'm sorry for the word cuck. I know a lot of people don't like that, but I'm going to use it right now. Prior, if you're 25 or over, you're over that hurdle where here's the thing. We know that technology does not run our lives, and if it was gone tomorrow, it would not ruin us.
You're the tail end of the 90s babies.
Exactly. So with that being said, if you were like 24, 23, 22 or younger, teens right now, I'm sorry, but you're fucked.
Even the people born
you are born with a phone in your hand. You're really born with a fucking tablet when you're a newborn. You know what I'm saying? Like
even the kids born like 1996 to 1999, they really don't know. Because they were still taught, like, they're not at that age where they saw the 90s. Where I was born in 92, so I was 8 years old when the new millennium, like, I was able to see it for 8 fucking years. Like, right. But here's the thing, like, okay, so our parents let us go out. Parents don't let kids do that nowadays. Why are they not letting us do that? Well, one, because I think they don't know their neighbors, but I think there's a deeper issue. I think it's because the media, every time you turn on a fucking television or get online to Facebook or to something, it is negative. It is negative. It doesn't matter what it is. 90% of this shit is negative. Now, I don't know if that's a good percentage, but I'd bet money that it's around 90% of the shit that is released on the news and the media is negative in some way or form. It does not have a positive message. So therefore, you think that this world, you have this perception that this world that you live in is a dangerous, bad world full of assholes and douchebags and rapists and perverts and the worst kind of people imaginable, when in reality, we actually have it pretty good. We're actually way better than the 1980s, crime in the 1980s. Like, if you compare New York City to New York City of the 1980s, holy shit, it's corrupt versus, like, nowadays, which it's not, it's barely at all.
But I mean, with that being said, you're just stating that the 80s was, way worse than like the 90s and the 2000s nowadays. But with that being said, I feel like the reason why is because they were going through a revolution back in the 80s. It was a revolution that still is unknown. I'm not just stating this. I feel like in my head, from what I could tell from, documentaries and videos, the 80s and the early 90s, we're talking like 91, 92, 93, they were going through a revolution. They were going through a phase. Yeah. And I feel like right now, we're going through another phase. There's about to be another revolution. I'm not saying anarchy or anything. I'm just stating, the fact that Trump is president. I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing, even though you all know CJ thinks it's a bad thing. I do. But it's a revolution. We're causing mass change.
Right.
Is it for the better or the worse? I believe it's for the worse.
And I believe it's for the worse too. And that's where you really got to see. The 80s is easy to say like, oh, it was for the good, because in hindsight we're looking back on it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we're thinking, hey, that's okay. But we don't know. Like we can't really see ourselves 20 years from now to be able to look back and say, that was good or that was bad. I personally think that this change that we're going through, we have no idea what it is.
We don't, and that's the thing.
And maybe they didn't know what it was going to be back in the 80s.
How can you? You can't really predict the future, but you can see what history and how history repeats itself.
Yeah,
that's one thing I always say.
And I think here's what it is. It's kind of like we're looking at it as technology again. See, here's the thing. I think that we're actually better crime-wise today, and I don't have any statistics. I don't have any fucking, studies or whatever, but I think that crime-wise today, I think more crime gets documented today because it's easier to document.
It's easier to get caught. That doesn't necessarily mean that the amount of crime has gone down or up.
Right. It's easier to get caught. So everybody's got a phone.
Yes.
Everybody has, and I'll get to that later. But like, I have a thought in my head.
Are you about to say back to blue type of? Are you talking about like how people videotape like police people and? Sorry, go ahead.
No. It's just when something bad is happening, there are some jackknobs out there that are so quick to fucking get out their phone first.
Of course.
Why don't you help whoever's in need? But again, we don't know that person. And it goes back to not knowing your neighbor. You learn that you lose the fucking thing of humanity that you're supposed to learn by knowing your neighbor. Help your neighbor. Help all that. Like, and they ignore it. They get out their phone first. Oh, this is going to get a lot of hits on YouTube. So he got his ass beat. So what? You know what I'm saying? Like,
but here's the thing. So right now, if you're watching Going Dutch Radio Network live right now, this is Tuesday night. It is 10:12 p.m. at night. We're doing a short podcast only for, another 10 minutes, 20 minutes or so.
However long we want to fucking rant.
I am CJ. Next to me is the infamous Sam Catanzaro the third. Isn't it the third?
The third, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I saw that on Facebook.
Thank you.
Anyways, if you guys like our podcast, if you guys want to comment, talk to them. Yeah. Talk to us. Let us know. Comment, and please call in 636-926-6945. Let me let you know.
6945.
Exactly. Normally we go live every Saturday night, or we try to most Saturdays at 8 p.m. Central. We do have a podcast on iTunes, Going Dutch Radio Network. Please like us. Please. You have no idea how much that helps, and I'm not trying to be funny. I wish you guys really knew. Like, I've always said, like, well, you got to like this. And people, like, why do videos always tell us to like? And believe me, it helps.
This is the realest show on the internet right now. The real. Again, we are not too, we're kind of educated. We're not fucking too, we're just two guys fucking ranting, okay? Yeah. Everybody else that's a part of the show, they're just guys ranting, stating there. We are the average person right now.
Yeah, we are the average Joe, and I'm not saying I'm smarter than everybody else, and I just like to give my input, and I want to hear what other people have to say.
He's in a Levi's t-shirt. How do you not trust somebody in a Levi's t-shirt? This is the average Joe. This is but again, going back, everybody's so quick to get their phone out. Everybody's so quick to record. Everybody's so quick. What happened to helping? What happened to doing this? What happened to doing that? And it's everybody. It's both sides of the spectrum, and it's not even like a political thing, because I know that this could get turned into a political thing so fast, but it's not. It's a fucking human thing. That's what it is.
It's everything. So right now, if you're just tuning in, we are talking about, and Sam wanted to rant. This is the reason why we're doing a podcast on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Sam wanted to rant how today's day and age is going to to shit, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not the same as it used to be.
We're becoming less and less human.
Right.
We're becoming less and less human. And that's what it is.
Maybe most people are going to agree with you. But here's the thing. The reason why, and we were just talking about it just a bit ago, how much different it was back when we were kids. We used to be able to do whatever the fuck we want, go outside, blah, 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 blah. But then I'm going to start. What caused that shift and change? And let's not bring up technology.
Yeah. I think it was
9/11.
I think it was after 9/11. I really do think that people thought that this country was not safe. Which I mean, we just had a damn terrorist attack, and it was the first time that
almost 4,000 people died on U.S. soil instantly within
a day. It was the first attack from an outside country since Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, 1940.
So you're talking about so you're talking almost 60 years since Pearl Harbor, because 1945, right? Pearl Harbor?
Yes.
1945. A day that will live in infamy. And if we get that wrong, we're going to sound like such
I just agree with you because you sounded pretty confident about that date. So,
but it was in the 40s. And again, this is why don't take what we're saying with a grain of salt. We're just venting. We don't know fucking dates and stats and shit like that. But when, Pearl Harbor happened, that was and look how many people signed up for World War II. 9/11 happened. That was the first time the U.S. soil was attacked from an outside party, somebody that wasn't an American, and they were attacked. We were attacked on U.S. soil, it got people thinking.
It did, and not only that. I mean, think about it. Pearl Harbor was a big deal because they randomly fucked us. They start killing and destroying mostly soldiers. There was a few citizens or
it was the island. There were people on the island, and of course there was bombings and shit.
But here's
the
thing: whenever 9/11 happened, whether you believe it's a conspiracy or not, regardless, thousands of people died, and where the attack was, whether it was staged or not, whatever you believe in, I do have a podcast next for that one. But whatever you believe in, it was an attack on U.S. soil in literally the most densely populated and one of the most popular areas of the country. This was in the middle of fucking Minnesota. This was in the middle of fucking North Dakota, people,
this
or
is New
even
York
St.
City,
Louis,
where dreams come, and
exactly.
Two of the most iconic buildings ever built. I mean, you talk about like that was our way of flexing our muscles. Like, look at our economy, look at our infrastructure. Right. And when Bin Laden did it, if you believe that he did it, if you believe it wasn't an inside job, when Bin Laden did it, he said that the thing that he wanted to do was cripple our economy, and it was right. But we're getting off on a tangent going into 9/11. We'll talk about it on the next podcast. But 9/11, after 9/11 happened, people were scared.
Of course they were.
I remember being at a Cardinals game shortly after that, and there was a jet flying overhead. And everybody just stopped.
I was in third grade then, maybe third grade.
No, fourth. It happened when we were in fourth.
I feel like it was that fucking cunt from Crestwood School. What's her name? Third grade. Mike knows who I'm talking about. Mrs.
Mike Tarantola, where are you?
Yeah, please.
Mike Tarantola.
Please comment and call in. Please.
Again, America. If you want to have a drink with Mike Tarantola, you really need to, and he's buying.
And he goes by the name Taco, and
if you need a car, if you need a vehicle, I believe that he.
Yeah, you know, we should plug that.
Yeah,
I'll look that up.
Plug that. Look that up because he's a good guy. We're busting his balls, and we need to give him a shout out for his business. He really is. He really is a good salesman. He will take care of you, and he's just a personal human guy. He'll just talk to you like a human.
And that's the thing.
Humanity.
Richard Green. So we got some comments right now live during the show.
Go ahead and read them.
Right now we have 4 viewers watching the podcast right now.
Oh, thanks, guys.
I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but that's actually quite a bit because always one person drops out every couple minutes. So we appreciate anyone who's watching live, and I'm just going to bring up some of the comments. Aaron says, thumbs up to the podcast. We appreciate it. Richard Green says, I feel like we're in another gilded age, 1941. And then he states, Richard Green commenting live right now, I was a senior in high school when 9/11 happened, which is scary. Here's the reason why. So was my brother, I think, right around that age. Yeah. You were afraid that you were going to be drafted. Like the draft was going to come back. Ooh. I mean, literally. No, really. I mean, you don't understand. Like, my brother, my dad, even said, he's like, the draft's going to come back, right? My dad was like taunting him, almost scaring him, like, it's going to fucking happen.
Because we were like 9 or 10 when it happened. So obviously we were safe.
Right.
But yeah, dude.
Did you know right now, I've started to break this up. So right now people were talking about how, civilization, humans are going to shit these days and how it's a lot different than back in the day. But with that being said, we're at age, I think after you're, how old are you?
26.
You're still 26.
Still 26,
so the day that you turn 26, your draft card technically goes away. So right now, if we had a major draft, we would not, as long as they do not change the rules right now, as long as they don't change the rules, which they can change the rules, the Constitution, Congress, whatever, can change the rules saying, hey, the age limit could be 50.
It would just have to be an amendment. It would just
an amendment.
Yeah.
So as of right now, we cannot be drafted. It's kind of a good feeling. But then again, if there was a draft right now for war, which literally means World War III, obviously.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you rather be in the war than sitting at home? Because sitting at home, you're probably a sitting duck.
I
right?
feel, like my personality, I feel like I couldn't do anything if I was sitting at home.
Well, no, you couldn't.
Well, I literally couldn't.
We could do this.
We could do this. We could, do a rubber drive or do a, whatever drive.
Who?
Well, that's what all the people that stayed at home, they would rubber drives to like tires and stuff like that. Everything was for the war effort. So there were people helping at home. But I mean, I feel like I would want to be in the thick of the fighting. I would definitely want to if it was something that we believed in, like a Hitler. Like, oh, this guy's trying to take over. This guy's a fucking evil person.
But today's day and age is different.
We're fighting an enemy that we can't see. In today's day and age, we're fighting an enemy that we can't see. We don't even know who our enemies really are.
Exactly. But think about this in World War I, World War II, leading up to Vietnam. All right? Leading up to that. We're not talking about Vietnam, but any time before, any wars, any major wars, North Korean War. There was a war in the 60s that we imprisoned. Anyways, I'm going to keep on going. Anytime prior to Vietnam War, if you were an American, you were a fucking American. Yeah. God damn it. You all right? Red, white, and motherfucking blue. Yeah. And not France colors, people. We're talking about the United States of America. And you...
Land of the free, home of the brave.
Whether you agreed with your president or not, you stood by him.
Yeah.
And if people were going to war, you wanted to fucking go. You wanted to fight for your country.
You stood by this country. You stood by your people. And that was the thing. It wasn't... People are so like... Oh, he's not my president, or no, I voted for... No. It has nothing to do with the presidency itself. It is that we are America. We are a people, and that's again, we're disconnected as humans. I feel like we're not identifying as a group.
I think that's part of the problem is that we are able to know too much too soon, too quick. Now, if anything, to the average citizen, that is a good thing to know too much too quick nowadays with our fucking phones, right? Like right now, I'm trying to look up our most current comments. I'm trying to look up Pornhub. I'm trying to look up Stormy Daniels' asshole.
Like if I can't think of a word or if I can't think of a certain fact, I can look it up on the phone. But is that bad that I can't go into my own brain now and think about that?
No, I don't. That's the thing. I don't believe it is. Technology, I think, is a good.
There are perks to technology. There are also perks where we become too much of this. How many people do you see looking down at their phones? And I'm looking down, fucking, and they ignore everybody else. You are literally in your own little bubble. You have the blinders on.
How many people who are looking at their phones like in a grocery store and they will literally walk into you like
right? I mean, it's kind of saying literally you have the blinders on. So if you have the blinders on in your normal everyday life, you have your blinders on to your neighbors. You have your blinders on to your kids. We just talked about that. How many moms take their kids to the park? They get on their fucking phones on the bench, and then they complain about that their kid got into something. They sue or do whatever. But it's like, watch your fucking kid.
Are you paying a fucking attention?
Yeah, right. I'll tell you, America will agree with me on this. Most of America, the Harambe situation.
Oh, dicks out for Harambe.
Oh, dude. Fucking when that little kid climbed in, fell into the pit, everything like that, they should have sued the parents. They should have prosecuted the parents because where were the parents watching this damn kid? Do you know how those things are meant for people not to go into them? And this kid got so out of hand and nobody was watching him and he fell in and a gorilla lost his life. Or the kid could have lost his life. I feel sorry for the kid. Like he was put in there. Kid's probably traumatized for fucking life. You're always going to be known as a kid that killed Harambe and everybody's going to let you fucking know.
I don't know about that.
Well, they'll forget about it within 2 fucking hours, which again, we're going on. See, I don't have a list of talking points to stay on. Where were we before we got off?
People, let me tell you something right now. We were talking about how humans these days are going to shit and how this day and age. I mean,
we're not human anymore. We're so disconnected from one another.
If anyone's seen WALL-E, yes, WALL-E the movie, okay, which I only was forced to because I had a nephew that was really young back then. I was with my brother. Blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm. Sure you were.
But pretty much the synopsis of the movie is humans have advanced enough. I'm talking about the movie WALL-E right now, okay? The movie in the movie, humans had advanced enough where they can now live on spaceships. I forgot if they're trying to go somewhere or not. I don't think they are. So they're living in giant spaceships because Earth is going to shit. But Wall-E,
the little robot,
for a living, his job, and this is all he was supposed to do, is just clean up Earth slowly but surely. Help clean up Earth with all these other robots. Because Earth is such gone to shit. Why did Earth go to shit? Because of the fucking humans. And so, all of a sudden, all of a sudden, halfway through the movie, it kind of shows like these humans that are in the spaceships, and they're giant fat blobs because they got lazy because they don't have to fucking do anything anymore. We got a caller. I was about to say the number, but I'm not going to. Whoever's calling right now,
we'll call you right back.
We will call you back in about 5 minutes or so. We will get to you. I promise.
We can't really answer. Even if we did try to answer, it's not really going to go through. So it's easier if we call you back.
That is correct.
And then it's free.
It is free.
Yeah.
Free is good, people.
Yeah.
Free's good.
No, dude. No. Yeah. We're all fat. Think about to quote. I think it was Joe Rogan. Poor people are fat. Think about that shit.
Oh, absolutely. Because
think about like 500 years ago. Who was the fat guys? The fucking guys that had all the money. Who were the poor guys? Or who were the skinny guys? The fucking poor people.
Because it's a different day and age, man. I mean, it's fucking different. It's different.
Poor people are fat. Think about that. That is not supposed to happen. That is not supposed to happen. If you have money, you can eat. If you don't have money, you really can't eat. And poor people are fat. I mean, I can't. I'm gonna keep on saying it because it's so fucking absurd.
Well, here's the thing. I am, if we're talking about how people of this day and age are pieces of shit versus, versus back in the day. Sam's talking about right now. So we're talking about how, back in the day, it's pretty normal. If you were pretty poor, that means you're probably going to be kind of skinny. Yeah. Because if you're poor, then you can't afford food. But here's today's new age of poor, you can have a cell phone that costs $600. You can have a cell phone that costs $1,000. You can also have a house that should be worth at least, a house that's worth $100,000, $200,000. But then again, as long as you have assistance, let's think. I don't even want to try to get into that, but I mean, like, exactly what I'm talking about. So it's a different day and age.
Disgusting.
The ratio. Back in the day, you always hear about like people that had to go through, or the parents. You hear that about the children, which is our grandfathers now, who are could easily be passed away, which most of mine are.
Yeah, mine are.
And with that being said, most of their parents, and they had to live through this a little bit, is the Great Depression. It was such a shitty time that people literally could not eat. Millions of people in the United States could not eat.
People are dying of starvation. So this is almost the number one country in the world, and they're dying of starvation.
And with that being said, that's why people start saving every fucking penny, even if they're making $100,000. Like truly $100,000 50 years ago, they were fucking saving every penny. Yeah, they might look like they're living okay, but I mean, they lived so fucking frugal. Why? Because they were afraid if something was going to happen again. Yeah. They had a little bit of fucking bread to save. They had some bread to save too.
And from generation after generation, it was disconnected.
Do you live paycheck to paycheck?
Yeah,
I do too.
Yeah.
Okay, and I feel like I make a decent, like an okay living. I found out 2 days ago. I earn the exact average middle income for the average person, like in a family. So if anything, I should be living okay. Oh, I don't know. Yeah. Like you know how much money I have in my bank account? You literally don't want to know. Now, it's in the tens of dollars, and I live in a house in Webster. I have like nice things. I have like a brand new Sea-Doo, and I have a bike, whatever, and I have a nice.
Well, you have some kind of investment where some kind of capital. Do you think you could be saving more? I think I could be. I know I could be saving more.
Of course I do. But
I think that's our generation. And
YOLO.
You only live once. But again, we're not innocent in all this. But see, and you know what? You can't compare this to history. Some people are like, oh, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I'll say this one last thing, and we'll call this guy back. Fucking, you can't compare this to history because never in history, at least that we know of, has mankind's technology been this advanced. So you cannot predict what comes next. You can predict almost like by the science fiction writers that almost like life imitating art, imitates life and everything like that, but you really can't know. And that's the scary part. That's the fucking scary part.
That's actually one thing I want to bring up earlier, but I kind of missed my point to kind of shoot at it. But I feel like today, obviously we know technology advances. It doubles almost every single year on average. As far as just technology itself, if there's a way to mathematically judge how technology has advanced since like the 70s, it's almost doubled every year. With that being said, it's advancing too rapidly and too quickly for humans to understand to how to adapt to either use it or to have. Here's the thing, we don't AI to take over, right? So what are we going to have to do? We're going to have to AI work with us hand in hand. But the problem is humans aren't smart enough. They aren't able to understand technology right now. Imagine 20, 30 years. Technology is going to advance even further. Yeah, that's why AI, I personally think, is going to take over, is because it's going to get too smart for humans. Humans can only get so fast. Okay, for instance, in most of the Olympic sports, you can only, like, they're starting to peak. Everyone's starting, as far as, people running triathlons, people doing the, 100-meter dash, whatever. Like, it's always gone up quite a bit every single year. But everybody's just starting to plateau in every single fucking sport in the Olympics in the past 3 or 4, or in the past, 8 years or so. Humans can only do so much, and technology will always advance unless we fucking blow everything up. So with that being said, do you mind if I smoke a really quick cigarette?
No, go for it.
Are you sure?
Go for it. Again, smoking's wrong. No, I'm just kidding. No, but how many people would fucking be outraged right now that you even asked them that?
If I could smoke a cigarette?
Right. How many people would just be outraged at you? I can't believe you asked that. I don't know why I'm talking in an accent. I don't even know if this is an accent.
Because you're more proper than I am. Because you're not smoking. Even though you had McDonald's.
Let's call this guy back.
Let's call him after the break.
Oh, are we taking a break?
Like, literally, I will smoke for 2 minutes.
Fuck a break. No, just have one now. Oh, you can't smoke inside?
No.
Why not?
She will fucking kill me.
Is she listening right now?
Oh, fuck yeah. I'm sorry. I love you.
What if you just do it off camera?
She will fucking do this shit. I can't. I'm not allowed to. Literally, it'll be 2 minutes.
But what if you just do it off camera?
I can't.
But what if you just
even if I smoked and you blew it in your mouth and you inhaled it and then you kind of filtered it out.
What if you just
Sam,
say
that's not gonna work.
What if you just say Sam's just really hot and he's steams?
Let's take.
All right, let's take literally a 2 minute break.
I'm not
we
lying
will be
when
back.
I say 2 minutes.
Listen. This is what is wrong with the world. That is what we are finding out. Okay, we got a lot more points. Like, I feel like we're gonna get back on it of what it is. This is what is wrong. We are being disconnected as humans. Some of it has to do with technology. Other has to do with society. Fuck it. We'll be back.
Wow. On that note, guys, we're gonna take literally. It's gonna be
jacked.
We're going to take a really quick commercial break, and I'm not lying. Whoever just called, it was the 314-448 or 488. I'm not going to say the rest of the numbers because I don't want to do that to you, but we will call you back within 5 minutes or so. So I'm going to take a quick smoke cigarette break outside very quickly, and we're only going to be on the podcast for a couple more minutes after that, I promise you, because Sam's, if you see what he's wearing, he's looking pretty stylish. He's obviously going somewhere, and he's going places. So, oh, look at that.
I just got off work. That's a damn lie.
Oh, okay. You have nice shoes on.
I look good, though.
You do look good. I like the sunglasses. All right, guys, this is Going Dutch Radio Network. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We will call you back, whoever did call. Please comment. Please comment right now, and please like and subscribe. This is Going Dutch Radio Network. We'll be right back from commercial break in about 5 minutes. Madonna.
Woo!
Wow. All right, guys, we are back. This is Going Dutch Radio Network. This is a special podcast Tuesday night. It is 10:41 p.m.
On a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday, I am
On a Tuesday.
your host, CJ. We don't have anybody else. It is just me and, of course, our special guest next
The
to
one,
me.
the only, the man, the legend, Cat.
Yes,
And I gave myself
Sam
all
Cat.
those titles.
Yeah, you did. That was pretty good. I liked it. All right, so we were talking about this whole synopsis of the show has just been about planned obsolescence and humans just going to shit these days and how it's so much different than how it was back in the day. What the fuck are we going to do? So with that being said, where do we lead off? Do we need to call our
Yeah, we need
guy?
to call our caller back. Like we
All right.
promised. If you don't answer, I swear to God.
Hey, Charlie, quit licking my taint and just call on the show, okay? All right. While I look this up, fill the air with whatever the fuck you want to talk about.
Dude, so like after we call this caller back, we're gonna switch into bullying. And actually, after we call this caller back, I'm gonna play a video. And this guy really spoke to me, and he said like, "What is wrong?"
Is his name God?
Nah, no.
Okay.
But God's a cool guy too.
Oh, okay.
I think God would have a beer with you.
With me?
Well, maybe.
I don't know about that, man. I'm pretty fucked up.
No. All right, so we wanna know. Tune in. Who would win in a fight, Madonna or Cher, both in their prime?
I'm gonna go with Cher. She's way more of a fucking
I
badass.
went with Cher too, but all the girls that I work with, they said no, Madonna.
Really?
Yeah, I think Cher's like a biker babe.
That's what I'm saying. She's fucking rough. She's rough.
Now I think Madonna could play the long term game. Like she's definitely got the cardio. Like she could wear it out, take her out in the early rounds. But I think Cher, definitely. I think Cher's like that one punch, like animal instinct, boom. Yeah, I don't know, but it's never gonna happen. So.
I kind of concur with you on that one. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think later rounds,
dude, Madonna.
take Madonna. But if you want an early round stoppage,
Madonna's been through a lot of rough shit. You know what I mean? And Cher, she's had her rounds, ups and downs. You know what I mean? So
I'm not saying that one of them's a scrub. I'm saying that this is fucking the best. Is this Rich? Did you call him?
I'm calling him as we speak.
All right, cool. we think it's Rich. If it's
Hello?
not. Hey.
Hello, hey, you are live. This is Going Dutch Radio Network. Who is this?
It was me, Richard.
Hey, Rich. What's up, bud?
What's happening?
All right, Richard is back.
Good.
He actually called in. He's one of our best fans, one of our best calling guests of the show. He commented and called in last time. So, what do you got to say? What do you want to talk about, Rich?
Well, the part about humans and technology or at least the way the world is going, I'll give you an example. How thin-skinned a lot of people really are, and then you can couple this with the "everybody gets a trophy" mantra. I for one really hate that because I don't know if you know. Like I know Sam, me and him do martial arts together. I love martial arts for the simple fact that you can't explain away. You can't give a bunch of fancy talk about, oh, well, I lost because I wasn't in touch with my feminine side. No, you lost because you suck at fighting.
Right.
You didn't train hard enough.
It's black and white.
Okay.
Yeah. It's literally black and white. Yeah.
And so, like, okay, you couple that with the way technology is, and how people how thin-skinned people are. Okay, someone gets online, for example, and runs their mouth and says something they shouldn't say. Okay, well, they get blocked or they get put in Facebook jail.
Right.
20 years ago, well, not even 20 years ago, 10 years ago, you talk that mess in someone's face, you might catch a fist in the mouth.
Right. You know what? I'm going to lead into that with my next point, but no, you're totally right, Rich. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were better repercussions than just Facebook jail or I'm offended. Yeah, you're right.
Right, and when you couple that with the world at large, it's like everybody is easily offended by stuff. Well, back then, And it's just like one of those things, like, okay, in my household, the whole idea, the importance, this goes back to the importance of having a father in a household. I am not a thin-skinned person. I could go to any work environment, and I won't go into what work environment I do for obvious reasons. It's kind of like I can't really be talking to media, about that sort of thing. But specifically, it's an environment that requires you to basically have some stones, man up, as they say. And Sam knows what I do, but essentially, my dad, when I was a kid, my dad was the type of dad. He's black dad, so he talked harsh to you. You ever watch the show Good Times?
Mm-hmm.
He's like a combination.
Dynamite.
Not that one.
Not that guy, but the dad, the father.
Oh, okay.
Jimmy. It was James Evans, the dad. He's like James Evans, but with money. So kind of like Uncle Phil meets James Evans, a hybrid of that. And so when I fucked up in school or whatever, like got bad grade, I didn't get you'll do better next time you study. No, I got a whooping. I got grounded. I was forced to study, and if I got a wrong answer, let's just say there were measures taken that prevented me from getting a wrong answer. It was more stick than carrot.
So let me ask you this, Richard. With that being said, I don't mean to break you up on with your with what you're talking
rant,
about. So yeah, I don't mean rant. It's not necessarily rant.
No, he's giving his opinion.
Right. Yeah, he's giving his honest opinion. So with that being said, I don't know if you have children or not, but if and when you do, are you going to treat the same as how your father treated you? Are you going to do the exact same thing, or are you going to do little things that you thought, okay, maybe he didn't do this, or maybe he did this? Because not everybody's perfect. At least you're like, okay, what he did on that instance was a little fucked up. Like, are you gonna set by example and do the exact same thing as he did prior, or are you gonna have to change things up a little bit?
Well, it's hard to say. I would probably okay, I'll take the good with the bad. Like, okay, getting yelled at and getting a spanking every time. Okay, it's consequences, but eventually you get used to those consequences, right?
Yeah.
Then there's also the point of, like I said, there's a lot more stick than carrot. Add some carrot, you give them incentive to do well. Okay, well, you got a bad grade last time, but this time, okay, because I know you can do it. If you do well, what do kids like now? I'll get you a piece of candy. I'll get you
positive reinforcement.
Positive reinforcement. And with that said, a lot of kids, you have the reverse issue. Oh, well, we can't say anything to little Jimmy or little Emily or whatever.
Timmy.
Because they're
Jimmy.
Sensitive. You can't hurt their feelings. You can't teach them if it's all positive.
Right.
There's no punishment. There's no repercussions.
You need the yin and the yang. The yin and the yang. The bad with the good. The good, the bad, the ugly, everything.
Now, and now, what does this have to do with technology? Okay, people could. Facebook jail is a tricky thing. Now, if you are, saying slurs or whatever, okay, fine, yeah, maybe you need to sit out for a while. But at the same time, I've seen this a lot on the black side of Facebook. If you actually present an argument that actually does really challenge the status quo, I've seen a lot of censorship among black people, and they'll get put into, okay, so you're going to use your technology to censor people, so no one has a voice. Well, that's just going to create bad blood, and you're going to give people a false impression that, I could say whatever I want to black people. They can't do anything, or vice versa. You gotta have balance, right?
Yeah, no, exactly.
So it's like, okay, you can say the N-word all day on Facebook, but
nugget.
say something like fag or any other slur. You'll be in Facebook jail so quickly it'll make your head spin.
Right.
No, I definitely agree. I mean, we were talking about the last podcast, and I know you had a few comments to say about it, Richard. We were talking about genders and how, are there more than two genders? And we were talking about how there's over 20 illegally now in some states, but right now they're up to 40-something genders. So yeah, it's a very sensitive time. I feel like right now in America, it's very sensitive. It's really hard to say things without. It's even hard to say like the sky is blue. Like,
right?
What's your fucking color, blue, man?
Yeah, we're entertaining. Right. We're entertaining delusion. That's the thing.
Exactly.
Everybody's getting on a, like, again, this comes from not being human. So humans we're tribal. We are naturally we group together, and now it's this day and age where we're in this individualism, and which is great. Everybody's going further as an individual, but sometimes it's too far, and individualism does not breed tribalism, and we're not exceeding together, we're exceeding individually. And then if you have everybody be individual, you are entertaining delusion, because then they're like, hey, well, I'm not a man, I'm not a woman, I want you to call me a sprite.
I mean,
a male fairy. Not even a male fairy. It could be a female fairy. Like, who the fuck cares? You're a fucking man. Like, we're entertaining delusion, and there's people out there that'll do that.
But here's the thing. So you think about all these politicians, right? And right now we're talking to Richard Green. He is a faithful local listener on the show.
One of my best friends. He's a good guy.
One of Sam's best friends. Right now we're talking about humans, how they're going to shit these days, and how life these days is just completely different than how it used to be. With that being said, where is the main focal point that I was going to say? Hold on, give me about 5 seconds.
I'm not in your head, bro.
1, Mississippi 2, Mississippi 3, Mississippi 4, Mississippi 5. Oh, the laughs don't help, Richard.
You totally.
There's one thing that I want to bring up is that, today's day and age, the reason why we are the way we are is 1, technology, and 2, is because the people that raised us.
Yeah.
Directly, I think 100% more. I think, mostly the reason why the way that we are is because of our parents. So
it's your community, it's your environment.
It is. And with that being said, we are raised to be individual. So it's not our fault. Now, do we need to change out of it? I don't know. I mean, Richard, let me ask you this. I hate to get away from a little bit, but do you feel like today's day and age, the reason why we are going to shit to a lot of people is because of technology? Do you think technology is one of the main reasons why? Or do you think it's helping us?
It's part of it, but at the same time, technology can only do so much. I'll give you a point. Like, I like to also learn foreign languages. You can learn anything from the internet. The internet holds the most human knowledge of anything we've ever invented, whether it be books, CDs, discs. The internet has all the knowledge, right?
Right.
I took that knowledge. I used it and got language apps and started learning foreign languages. But at the same time, for me to actually have it stick, I have to get off the internet. I have to write.
You have to interact with people. You have to interact with people. You have to be a human speaking that language with another human.
Right.
Technology can only take you so far.
Right.
Yeah.
So that said, if you're not, at the same time, as smart as we are, as advanced as we are very dumbed down, and I think that's by design.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't have so many people if it wasn't dumbed down. For example, you shouldn't have to argue what a man and a woman is and is not. A man is a Homo sapien organism with an XY chromosome,
right.
testicles, and can produce semen. That is a Homo sapien male.
Yeah. We're getting deep here on Going Dutch Radio Network. Go on, Richard.
Right. So a female is XX chromosome, has ovaries, carries eggs, can become pregnant and carry a child to term, has periods.
Yeah.
And has breasts. That's a female. That's something that has been universally agreed on, and because no one, this is one thing I do love about science, not technology, but science. Science is kind of the ultimate bullshit detector.
Ooh, I'm going to agree with you. Oh, Richard, I like you. I like you so much right now because you just said that. You have no idea.
He just got a science fiction boner right now.
No, it's not. It's nonfiction.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
It's happening. Go on, Virgil.
Right. but like I said, it's like, okay. People want to argue the sky is blue. Okay, can you perceive what blue is? What does blue mean to you? Are you colorblind? Everybody that's something that's universal to humans, for the most part, the majority of us can see colors, right?
Well, right.
See the infrared spectrum. So to argue that the sky is anything but blue to a human on a clear day is absolutely ludicrous.
Yeah. You know, it's. I think we're. Like I said, it's like an individual thing, like, free thinkers, but I think you can just think too freely where you're just wrong. And
right.
Yeah, where it's like, okay, no, the sky is blue. Prove it. It's fucking blue. Like, come on, man. No, I mean, Rich, do you think like, okay, so technology does play a factor. Technology helps. It goes back to what CJ was saying. Technology helps in a lot of ways, but it can also hurt in a lot of ways. Do you think that what's wrong with humanity today? It's a human issue. Like, what's wrong with the world today? It's a human issue that we are not connected, whether it be by technology or just our own ignorance or something like that. Like, it's not a left problem. It's not a right problem. It's not a white problem. It's not a black problem. It's not a brown problem, a yellow problem, a woman problem, a man problem. It is humans altogether.
Are you saying problem?
Yeah,
okay,
problem.
Cool. I didn't understand what that was.
Yeah, problem. Yeah, problem.
Cool. Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, it's a human problem. Humans today, like humanity, it's humanity's problem. What's happening today?
Right. Well, and
it's everybody. It's everybody.
This is why, again, to go back to a previous point, I love fighting so much. I love martial arts for the simple fact, you lose. You can't argue against a loss.
Right.
Okay, if you're out in an open battlefield, my opponent didn't have a gun. I had a gun. I shot him, therefore I won. Right?
Right.
He's dead. He or she is dead.
Yeah. There's no what ifs.
Right?
There is, you walked away, you lived.
Well, it's a white and black situation. It's a yes or no. It's either win or lose. You know, and that's the thing. Today's day and age, there's hundreds of answers. And the problem is there shouldn't be hundreds of answers. Is 1 + 1 = 2? Not anymore. There's so many different answers for so many questions, and that, I feel like, is the main fucking problem these days. Yeah. There's too many fucking answers for simple fucking questions, right? Let's be honest.
Right. No, they're like, just like, what color is the sky? Blue. Well, no. It's like, look at Common Core math. Look at fucking.
Oh, don't get me started.
You know what I'm saying? Look at like gender. Are you a man or a woman? Well, technically, I'm a goose trapped in a 6-year-old gopher's body. What the fuck? Are you a man or are you a woman? I'm sorry to get so violent, but that pissed me off. Like, that's pretty
right. No, and I completely understand that. This is why, if you notice, in America, our math and science scores are lower than they've been in decades.
Yeah. So right now, I actually looked it up. So even though United States is supposed to be number one, everyone thinks the United States is number one. It's kind of the synopsis, right? Well, in educational fields, you know, for elementary school and middle school, as far as testing goes, mathematics and science, we rank, even though we're supposed to be number one, we rank in the hundreds, meaning there are over 100 countries in science and mathematical fields that are better than the United States. And I feel like that's pretty sad. Right. How is America number one? It's because as of right now, not saying we will in a little bit, as of right now, people still want to go to America to try to go to these fancy colleges. People want to go to America to publish their shit. Yeah. The problem is right now, and this is, I mean, there are many very smart people right now, scientists and et cetera and so forth, that are agreeing that most people that are scientists, most smart people that are you know, that are advancing technology, that are, you know, the new Einsteins, are all foreign, and they all come to America. Yes. Luckily, and they're all foreign. They all come in America luckily because America is the best, and that's the best way to, you know, publicize your shit.
That's the best way to get recognized.
Exactly.
That's it,
yeah. But the problem is right now, everyone's starting to realize America's not really number one anymore. So everybody in China, Japan, Europe, everybody's starting to stay home, and they're starting to take it at home, that they're starting to leave their all their shit. So America is starting to
which is good for their economies, which is good for their countries, but it's not good for us.
It's not good for us because we are not doing our part for our own people to make ourselves stay a cut above the rest.
See, I look at it as, well, fuck them. If they want to stay home, stay home. Let's get some fucking geniuses from our soil. You know what I'm saying? Let's get some fucking Americans that are scholars, that are artists, that can fucking take the world by storm. But see, with our system, it's just not possible. It's just because we're getting so individualist that we're not as a team anymore, and that's how you get further as a team than you do as an individual. Let's be honest. Fucking, can you have one man? You can have Pele, the best soccer player in the world, against a whole fucking kids soccer team, probably lose. Go on, Rich. I'm sorry, just pissed.
Now you teach martial arts, correct?
Right. Yeah.
Now, would you agree, as a martial artist, what makes you cannot judge a school by its teacher? You judge it by the students that they produce, right?
Right.
And if you were producing students, high-level students, and those students have to compete with each other, and they go out across the country, perhaps even the world in my case, and they compete against others in not just their style, but against other styles of combat, would that make them better?
Yes, absolutely.
Right. And this goes back to what I said, I don't like the notion that everybody gets a trophy.
Right.
Everyone needs to experience loss and victory.
Right. The most important things in to learn, the moments that you learn the most are in defeat.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And that goes for anything. That just doesn't go for martial arts. That goes for life. The most important times that you learn are in defeat. And in this day and age, well, defeat is bad, so we just, let's just everybody win. No.
Right.
Yeah,
I will totally agree. So I used to gamble way too much. I mean, a lot. I mean, I lost probably $20,000. Well, I probably lost $30,000 to $40,000.
Just imagine what you could have bought with all that money. Like, I mean,
I would have blown it anyway. So I lost $10,000 in the first 6 months that I was 21. I mean, I was gambling like crazy, and I saved up all my money just to be able to do it. Which, believe me, I spent all my money for the next like 2 or 3 years. With that being said, a win never felt so influential as a loss. The loss, if I lost $100 and I won $600, that $600 that $600 win versus that $100 loss, it would never make up for it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So no matter how much I won, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
It was the loss that made me fucking think.
Like, fuck.
Right.
The win could have been $10,000, $20,000, $50,000. It's the loss that fucking hit you.
I could have had $10,100. I could have had $10,500. Fuck. Like, I could have gotten. Exactly.
And I'm sorry that gambling does not really correlate necessarily with life, as far as like doing right, doing wrong, being good enough. But I mean, Richard, I think you kind of agree. Is that a loss makes you think a lot more psychologically, whether it's good or bad. It makes you fucking think.
Yeah. Well, let's bring this into perspective, and I'm gonna kind of shift subjects here, but I want to keep Rich on the phone because he'll know this. Okay, so bullying in schools. Now, I am not pro bullying. I am not pro violence in schools, but I was bullied when I was younger significantly. I was bullied a lot. I also was the type of kid that would start a lot of shit too.
Yeah, I remember.
So I wasn't. It wasn't like I was totally innocent. My mouth was faster than my hands when I was younger sometimes. So, but bullying in school, it was it's a thing where I think that it's necessary, but because then it teaches that kid to overcome adversity, or you bow down. And I really do. Now, I don't think that it should be like, okay, we need bullies in school. Fuck no. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like this whole, hey, let's get out against bullies. Let's get out against violence. But it does teach you a lesson. Let's be honest. It does.
Oh, yeah.
There is a
It
lesson
does,
to be learned.
because if you're a bully, eventually you're gonna keep on pushing. You're gonna keep on pushing. Eventually, you're gonna get your fucking.
You're gonna push the wrong guy.
You're gonna get your shit kicked in. You're gonna get shit kicked in. Hopefully, you get curb stopped.
It's good for the bullies and for the victims, because the victims have a chance to stand up against an oppressor,
Yes.
and the bullies get a chance to see that there's always a bigger fish in the water. Like we can't always do this. So yes, at first it is a fucking hard thing, and as a parent, I'm not a parent, I don't know, but I bet as a parent it's a hard thing to watch your kid come home every day fucking sad, doing this, doing that. But there is a life lesson to be learned. Well, we've taken that out of schools, and by doing that, you ever watch Malcolm in the Middle?
Oh, dude, I've watched every episode.
So
100
the episode, Rich, you'll know this. The episode where Reese is a bully.
He's always a bully.
Well,
what
he's the bully, and then he swears off bullying, and then all these beta bullies come in, and he has to come back in as the alpha bully. It's a good episode. Watch it. No. In the middle.
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
So, but you took out the alpha bully in school, and then all of a sudden, all these little beta bullies came in, and everybody started being a bully. I think that's what's happening now. See, bullying is a virus. Bullying is a virus, and you've taken the actual, the fucking stereotypical bully out of the schools, but bullying has evolved. It's cyberbullying. Now everybody's bullying. Adults are bullying. Look at fucking the internet. Breeds bullying. You are hiding behind a computer. You can say whatever you want about a person. All you have to do is go on there. You go on an article about a celebrity. Fuck her. She's a bitch. Fuck him when he make his fucking last movie. That's a form of bullying. No, it's not a form of bullying. They're a celebrity. They have a lot of money. No, actually, that is. You are saying stuff to hurt their feelings or saying stuff to badmouth them. That is a form of bullying. So it's evolved to this next level. It's something that kids cannot fight. They can't. It's something they can't see, that they can't fight, and they don't have that lesson anymore. They don't learn this life lesson like, hey, I stood up to so and so and I punched him in the face. Yeah, he beat my ass, but for that moment I punched him in the face.
Well,
or so and so got beat up by my older brother. He'll never do that again. You don't have that lesson anymore.
Right,
it's evolved.
And it's not only fights though, and I think Richard might agree with me here. It's not only about the fights and what you learn through the fights and whatnot, but it's also about like educational experiences. Like you can't just like you were saying, Richard, earlier. Everybody gets a participation prize. Everybody's number one. No, you need to fucking lose.
Yeah.
If you don't know what it's like to lose, then you're going to be a bully. That's what happens. Everybody's a fucking bully these days, and everybody wants to be a bully. Everybody wants to be negative and to be just a shitty fucking person, and it's not the way to live.
No, it's
Why
not,
would you want to live that way? There's no reason for it. It's not going to get you very far in life. You might think it is because you might have a few more dollars whenever you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s. But I promise you, you're going to be that fucking fat fuck piece of shit that's going to end up killing themselves or be single and be divorced when you're fucking 40-something.
Do you know somebody like this? This sounds very, very...
I know that I don't want to be like this, so
okay.
I just want to preach it.
Dude, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Rich, what do you think?
I have a mouse. And so people will come at me target miss. I bring up a subject specifically. I go target racism. Well, I wouldn't just target the obvious races like racists like Klan members or neo-Nazis.
Well, I mean, yeah. Sorry.
I mean, I would go after people that, okay, is this considered racist? And I bring it up, and it's like I basically drop a grenade in the room and walk out and see who scatters. And I noticed the pattern, of who showed up about if I said what subject, per se. And the racists weren't usually like, oh, okay, well, the typical what they think of racists is folks from the conservative, right wing, from the South, typical Bull Connor types, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. King could have told you that. Malcolm X could have told you that. They've been dead for like 50 years, right? So racism can come from anywhere.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
What the internet taught me was, no matter what walk of life they come from, don't back down. I learned this through martial arts. Yeah, you're getting hit.
Right.
Shrug it off.
Right. Yeah, you're getting hit. You got two options.
Come back harder.
Yeah, you got two options. You can either get out or get in. Like, what are you
Right.
gonna do? Absolutely. And sometimes you have like somebody just hits you and you're fucking out. Okay, just come back another day. Martial arts, like whatever martial art that you do, whether it's fucking Steven Seagal, Aikido.
Oh, Steven Seagal,
with a
don't get me
fat gut
started.
and fucking, or fucking Joe Rogan, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, 10th Planet, Jean-Jacques Machado, Eddie Bravo.
All right.
Whatever martial art that you do.
Are you trying to make me come?
Maybe. Fucking, but you can do any martial art, but what it does is just shows you diversity. It faces adversity. It shows you diversity. There's different ways to approach a situation. There's different ways to approach life. Yes, you are going to have life punch you in the face. You can do two things. You can let it punch you in the face and cry about it, or you can fucking hit it back. Or if it knocks you out, get up, train harder, get back in and do it again. Yeah, there's a lot to be said for it.
And with that being said, okay, real quick, because we're going to be ending the podcast real soon.
Yeah.
Here's just a few of the newest comments that we've had live during the show. Right now, we do have live who just did call in just a bit ago. His name is Richard Green. And real quick, Richard, do you want to do any shout outs?
I mean, what's up, Sam?
What's up, bud?
Other than that, like, what's up, hello world, that's stay, keep your mind open and
what would you
be water.
What would you tell humanity right now? Like one sentence, just one sentence that you would tell humanity right now.
Learn the power of equilibrium and being in balance.
Holy
and
shit.
you'll never go wrong.
I want this guy in the fucking podcast, and I'm
fucking
not even
deep,
lying.
man. He's
I want him
fucking deep.
in studio, and I'm not just saying that to be saying that.
Oh, well, thank you.
No problem, Rich. All right, Rich.
Do you think
right.
do you think he'll do it with his pants off like we do,
I mean,
or
yeah, I think we could talk him into it. Doing the podcast with his pants off
he
under the
should.
table.
Or,
Yeah,
like boxers or like no boxers too?
definitely no boxers.
Okay,
He's
cool.
black. You gotta have him no boxers.
Ooh.
I mean, fucking, it's a snake. It's a fucking dragon.
Is that like
You
BB
gotta have him no boxers.
like BBC?
Huh?
BBC, big black clock.
No,
big,
no, no,
big,
no, no.
big black.
No. GBC, Grand Black Cock.
Never heard of that.
Wow.
It's fucking. It's
I'm
bigger.
honored.
It's bigger than big.
All right, so
You
real
know,
quick,
your head. It's bigger than that.
Wow.
I could have been fucking head. All right, with that
I
being
don't
said, real quick before we let Richard go, we had a few comments. One was from David Amelati.
There's always a bigger fish. Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yes, he said there's always a bigger fish.
Episode 1, Phantom
He also
Menace.
said that's messed up. 10K loss. Yikes. And then Aaron Nas. Aaron, once again, thank you. One of our, and I'm not just saying to be saying this, one of our super fans of the show. He said, "Going Dutch Radio Network starring CJ." Laugh out loud. There was something else he said. It had to do with you, Sam, but for some reason it's not on there anymore. So
I think it's only showing the. It's only showing your. Oh my damn! Like earlier comments.
I guess.
Probably on there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Guys.
because I'm using my phone.
Are you?
Anyway, all right, Rich. Well, thank you for calling in, man.
All right, no problem. Anytime. Peace.
All right, Rich. Have a good night. That was Richard Green. That was Richard Green, guys. He is one of the faithful listeners of the show.
He is.
One of your friends, and I'm not just trying to be nice because
Yeah.
he's your friend. I mean, he has good input.
No, he
You
really
know?
does. He's actually very, very. He thinks about what he says. He's researched what he says, and he's very open to somebody saying, "Hey, could it be this?" And he will say, "Yeah, it could." So yeah, you need people like that. You need people that get in the middle. They're not meeting you at one end or the other. They're meeting in the middle, and they're willing to listen. And he's definitely one of those people. And when you see him, you will totally misjudge him. He's one of those definitions like don't judge a book by its cover. He's so much more. Anyway, no. So the point is, guys, I came over to CJ's house tonight, and I was like, "Dude, what's up?" And he was like, "Hey, man, what's up?" And we did like a little bro handshake, and
But it was with our penises.
yeah. And so I said, "Dude, fuck humanity right now, man." And he said, "Sam, talk to me about it." No.
I'll be honest. So we're right above the Going Dutch Radio Network studios, outside on the deck. Sam just started going off. I mean, literally started going off on humanity and how everybody's going to shit and blah, 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 blah. You know, I'm Italian. Blah, blah, blah.
It sounded more French.
Hey, Charlie, quit licking. Hey, Charlie, quit licking my taint.
Hey, quit busting my balls over here.
Hey, Charlie, if you lick my balls one more time, I'm going to put cement on your feet and you're going to go down with the fishes.
I'm going to fucking put you in some cement shoes and send you down the fucking river. How about that, Charlie?
With that being said, that's when I said, Sam's need to be on the podcast. He needs to let this out. It's a short podcast, guys.
Yeah,
normally, we are live every single Saturday night, 8 p.m. Central, Going Dutch Radio Network.
But we're on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday, people.
On a Tuesday.
It is. It's 11:16 p.m. Is it about to burn out the show? Should we end the show?
Yeah. You know what? Let's fucking. We should end it with a video. Can we end it with like a YouTube video of just like sums up a bunch of shit? Let's go on YouTube.
Yeah.
Go on YouTube.
What kind of video are we talking?
Here, it's a fucking. Here. And everybody needs to watch this. Now, I don't know if this guy is 100% right, but he brings up, just type in what's wrong with millennials. It'll be like the first fucking thing. Now, again, we said millennials is a lazy fucking term to describe everybody born after 1982. It's a fucking lazy term by society because society is too fucking lazy to come up with other generations. Or maybe they did, and we're just the fucking lazy ones not willing to look this up.
Who would it?
Yep, that one right there. The Simon Sinek on millennials.
You want to end it with a 15-minute synopsis?
Yeah, go down and see if there's another.
Like
if
a
not,
version?
yeah.
She has a nice wide mouth. Excuse me, I said that really weird.
Here. Shit, that's 18 minutes too. Here,
fuck?
go down. That's 13. What the hell? There's got to be a shorter one than just 15 fucking minutes. Go on.
I don't know. I mean, maybe there's that much wrong with fucking millennials. You know what I mean?
I don't. Yeah, but he does. Like, there was something that I watched. Like, here.
It was like a montage
type
type
in
of thing?
highlights after what's wrong with millennials.
Oh.
Because there is a highlight video where he just. There you go. But yeah, give us a second, guys. But anyway, this is Going Dutch Radio. You know what? Fuck it. Let's not end with a video.
I know it sounds really bad.
Yeah. This is Going Dutch Radio, and my name is Sam. Thank you for having me on, CJ.
You're welcome, buddy.
I'm so glad he got to let me vent about humanity. I don't have all the answers, but I really do think everything that we discuss is what is wrong. We are becoming less and less human. We are becoming less and less detached from each other. We need to go home, hold the ones you love, talk to your neighbors, bring them a fucking flower basket, a fucking thank you present, something. I don't know. Get to know the people around you. Watch your kids. Put down your phones for 15 fucking minutes. Read a book. Write a letter instead of writing shit on Facebook for my birthday. You pieces of shit. Fucking go out there. Don't be offended by every little thing. Take it as a learning experience. Take it. Overcome adversity. Get together. Tribalism. Be one together. We love your neighbor. Love black. Love white. Love yellow. Love brown. Love red. Love purple. Love blue. Love maroon. Love turquoise. I don't really like turquoise. But fucking go out there and just be a human. Get out of your box. Fuck the box. Fuck boxes. Okay? Fuck them. Not literally, but seriously. Get out there and be a damn human. Wear some sunglasses at night. You'll feel better. Shout out to my buddy David Emilati. I'm going to do a plug. David Emilati for commenting. Beyond the Blast Doors. It's a Star Wars podcast, if any Star Wars fans. Also, Biscuits and Gravy Comics. It's on Facebook. That's my friend Tony Beeman. Okay. What's up, J-Lo? When you get tired of A-Rod, hit me up.
All right, guys.
Anyway.
Hey, and on that note, that was Sam Catanzaro, who is a famous local person in St. Louis, Missouri. I am CJ, your host. This is Going Dutch Radio Network. Normally, we go live every single Saturday night at 8 p.m. Central, but we are live, a special podcast ranting about humans and how they're going to shit these days versus back in the day, and what the fuck are we going to do? And Richard Green, thank you for calling in. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you for all the comments as well. Do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, what if we were wrong about that, and this is how humanity has always been?
What do you mean?
Like, humanity's just always been shit, and we were just totally wrong about what we said.
Humanity has always been shit. Everybody wants to kill themselves. Everybody wants to kill each other. That's the way life fucking works.
Everybody wants to kill dinosaurs.
Yeah, but apparently in space there's a treaty where no one's allowed to do that. But it's going to change with the Space Force. With that note, guys.
Space Force!
This is Going Dutch Radio Network, guys. And we're out.